Hey everybody, this is Joey Marzilli with Boomtown. I'm going to give it another minute or so here, just letting some other people, it seems like some people are just joining in. Make sure you can see my screen. Feel free to chat or ask questions if you have any issues through the go to webinar control panel. And then you should see Boomtown Point Sales Seminar. All right, let's get started here. So we had a great morning session. This is going to be an identical session to the morning. We're going to go over a few different things about the new third-party applications, which I'll introduce here in a moment. But altogether, these webinars are about third-party applications, frequently asked questions, and also about updates on Poynt specifically. If your team needs a sales training or an operations training, feel free to reach out to pointsales@goboomtown.com. We can do that for your group. We can do that for individuals. Obviously, we want to make sure that you're comfortable with Poynt from an operational perspective and from a sales perspective. So just reach out if you have any questions. Always happy to help. All right, and we have a really exciting day. Basically, the session this morning went really well. We're going to go over a few different Poynt applications that are already on the terminal. I'm going to go over some reasons why Poynt has made good really headway in the payments world compared to the other smart terminals to kind of do some compare and contrast. And then we're going to have talech speak, which is a new POS application on Poynt. They actually had a POS application on Poynt. They have a new free version as well, which is going to be pretty neat to use as a register. We'll go over that, and then we're really excited to have Zero Pay, the new cash discount application. We had a lot of buzz around that. A lot of groups are already using it, and we had a lot of questions this morning. So excited to have Zero Pay on here as well. And then we'll make sure, again, to leave some time for questions. You can chat in questions during the webinar. Feel free to chat or ask a question if it's if the question is more specific to your channel, I'll just email you back. If it's a pretty generic question, I'll be able to read it out loud with our guests and make sure that we are addressing that question and answering it appropriately. We do have a sales hub. All of our webinars and recordings go up on the sales hub with the deck. We'll make sure to email the deck and webinar to anyone who registered for this seminar. But when you go to the sales hub, you'll have again information on third-party applications, marketing, collateral, sales content, updates, and really something to kind of bookmark and keep, if you do need the research on your own or go find more material to sell Poynt. So going to go through a few updates and mostly just kind of review a few applications that have done really well before we get to our guest speakers. Quick reminder that Poynt 5 is available. You can get it through TPG Phoenix Group. The Poynt 5 handheld, it does not have a printer. It's basically one screen. It is about half the price of the Poynt P16, which is the dual screen. And also with the Poynt 5, which is nice, that it does have the same software, and a lot of the apps work on the Poynt 5 in conjunction with the P16. Also, want to talk about chargebacks real fast. Just a reminder that if your merchant stops using Poynt, but they sign up for third-party applications, that's a whole different kind of billing cycle. So even if they canceled their service with you, that doesn't mean that it's automatically canceled the service with the third-party apps. Just something to be aware of. And obviously, conscious of as you're building relationships and obviously trying to maintain and retain relationships with your merchants as well. I want to talk quickly about Manglement, which is one of the top performing applications right now. It is a high-end salon POS software, and really it's a replacement for MindBody and Booker. A really beautiful UI. It's on the Poynt terminal. It can do online scheduling. It has the ability to do ordering online, and basically it works directly with the Poynt terminal, so you can check out. You can see. When you go into the salon or spa, you can check in. There's a lot of great features. Reach out to their team if you need help. They have great sales support. They will help you. They will help you basically sell, and they'll help you demo. They'll do a bunch of great things to make sure that you're comfortable with the product. And then if you need help, or if you want to be more of a reseller, just go to the manglement.com/Poynt, and they'll be able to help you and get you up and running. It is that time of the year, obviously tax season. One thing I want to call out is that Davos Sales Tax has been on the Poynt terminal for a long time. They're a team of consultants that will help your restaurant, QSR, retail, anyone who does a lot of volume, does a lot of transactions. They help with sales tax. So it's a great at least a value-added feature. Maybe something that you can even do a mail campaign or email campaign about to add obviously more value to your merchants and obviously keep your merchants in the Poynt world and enjoying the Poynt services. FactorPort gift cards has also been around for a while. Just a reminder that there are gift cards for Poynt. I like their team because they'll take old gift cards and they'll convert them for a Poynt. So maybe if you had a different system and you had gift cards there, they'll make those compatible with the Poynt terminal so they don't have to go buy a whole bunch of new gift cards. But they do sell new gift cards. They have e-gift cards, obviously for some great loyalty features. So reach out to their team if you want to get started with gift cards on Poynt. Definitely something that I would add to my pitch when selling Poynt to all the different merchants. So I want to talk quickly about, why Poynt is special. And I've gone to a lot of payment, I should say, conferences in the last year, right? And what has made Poynt really special is that there is, let's talk about the first thing where it has a native terminal and register application on the Poynt device. These other devices are really, it's nice hardware, it's good looking, it's recognizable companies, but at the end of the day, you have to go pay for expensive hardware, and then you have to go find a terminal app, and you have to go find a POS app. So it's harder to sell, and it's harder to understand for the merchant, where Poynt out of the box has a terminal and a register application. So that must be, in my mind, that's a lot easier to sell. Of course, there's some great upsell opportunities. But before we get to that, the hardware, you can actually sell it today, where a lot of these smart terminals, they're kind of promising all this, hey, it's coming. I've seen them out in the marketplace. I've seen them out at the conferences, but I actually haven't seen anybody selling them yet. So besides some international markets, you can actually sell Poynt. You can actually hold it in your hand and you can actually sell it, which is great. And then it's about, half the price of the hardware for Clover Station on the new Square register station. And then it's about 1/4 the price of the Clover software. So from a reseller perspective, you can get your processing on Poynt and, already cutting costs on the hardware, cutting costs on the software. It's kind of a no-brainer of why you wouldn't sell Poynt compared to all these other smart terminals or cloud-based POS systems. And the other one is the upsell opportunities, right? We have wonderful apps on there that we just went over, one for Salon. We have talech, what we're going to go over here in a moment, for QSR, restaurants, full service. And then we have groups like ZeroPay who are going to actually, who are providing cash discount options into the payment fragment of Poynt. So as we give me one moment, I'm going to transition over and we're going to invite Blake here to speak. I'm just going to unmute him. I think you are unmuted, Blake. Blake, you there?
Yep.
All right, Blake, I'm going to give you the presenter role, and then I'll tell you when we can see your screen. And guys, thanks again for joining today. We have Blake from talech, who is, someone I've worked very close with. He works very close with our resellers and helping them sell to more sophisticated businesses with their POS application, which is integrated with Poynt, and you can basically use the full, full version of talech on Poynt. So Blake, great to have you, and feel free to take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Joey. So hi, everybody. Thank you for having me on this call. Once again, my name is Blake. I'm with talech. Just a little bit about us. We are a point of sale company that is based out of Palo Alto, California. We were founded in 2012. We also have a support office other than our Palo Alto one in Scottsdale, Arizona, one in Dublin, Ireland, and we recently just opened up a support office in Belize as well. We have a little over 17,000 registers and 11,000 customers across the United States, Canada, and the UK. Why would a customer choose talech? Well, the biggest thing about our app, and probably the most consistent compliment that we get, is that our app is extremely easy to use. The flow, it makes sense, and that may sound cheesy, but if you've ever worked with a POS, there's a lot of times where to get from point A to point B in the point of sale, it makes no sense on how that works. And that's one thing that we constantly get recommended from other people on, is that we have a great app that's easy to use, easy to understand, easy to train your staff on, and easy for staff that have used point of sales before to learn how to use relatively quickly. And in the high turnover industries that we tend to work with, that's very important. Rich analytics and insights. So we bring them a lot of the reporting that has been requested, for small businesses to try to compete with some of the larger ones that are out there. Are we a Restaurant 365 or a C2IT, bringing them in-depth food costing analysis, things along those natures? No, not quite to that level, although we do have integrations with some of them. But we do bring them information that they probably wouldn't be able to keep track of just by writing down transactions or running like a regular terminal. So analytics and insights are huge. Some customers use them pretty extensively. Some of them barely touch them. It honestly just depends on the customer. Anytime access. So we are a cloud-based system. If you make a change in the menu, it'll show up in the online portion. If you make changes in the online portion, it'll show up in the menu portion on the terminal. So it really just depends where they like to make their changes. But since it is cloud-based, internet is pretty important. We don't need super strong internet or super fast internet, but we do need an internet connection for this app to work. 24/7 support. So we once again have our support offices, two in America, one in Ireland, and one in Belize. 24/7 support that we don't charge you for. We do not use like call bots or anything like that. So when you call in, you will speak to a person. Our average SLA time right now is about 30 seconds wait on a busy time before you speak with somebody, which is pretty good. Safety and security, customer engagement, that's generic stuff. You guys will get this deck after. I think you guys understand a little bit about that. I want to get into the primary verticals here where we fit. So some of the main businesses that we're going to target are going to be cafes, quick serve restaurants, sit-down restaurants, fine dining. We do have advanced fire and hold features, coursing, table split, table management, everything that you would expect from some of the large box point of sale systems, we more than likely can accommodate. Bars, retail, almost any type of retailers will fit ours. And of course, as the retailers get bigger and more advanced, they might go out of our scope. But for right now, on the retail side, we can take in about 30,000 individual SKUs before internet speed starts to become more important, just because there's so much information going back and forth. Secondary verticals, yogurt shops kind of in that quick serve. Entertainment venues, this one's really big. You guys might not run into them very often, but we have a lot of entertainment venues that like to use our system, not only because of the software, but because of the hardware that we're on as well. Poynt, of course, being one of them, the ability to do line busting. So we have an art show that has, I think they have seven registers up front, because when people come and get their t-shirts, it's just like a madhouse. So they actually deploy their people out into the line to go through and take customer information, save it into the system. That way, when they get to the front, their customer information is already saved in there. And so shipping information, stuff like that, they don't have to deal with that at the front. They can just make the sale and move on to the next person. Anything outdoors, the Poynt device obviously can get sold with a data plan on it. The iPads that we work with as well can be sold with data plans on it. So that ability to have that outdoor access, have that freedom to have a point of sale that can be on the move is usually important to a lot of our outdoor customers. So food trucks, we are in quite a few food trucks. And then home and garden as well. I skipped over one on the restaurants portion. Again, with the Poynt, having the ability to do pay at table, take an order at table, really big for our restaurant customers. And that's something that can be done with Poynt devices while still having an iPad, running our talech app up at the front for a traditional cash drawer setup. So we do have cross-platform iOS, Android integration. So this is just our solutions use case. Right here, you can see a full countertop view. Poynt devices right here. So I will say that with Poynt, we have two options of use. We have one where you actually have the Poynt app, or excuse me, you actually have the talech app on the Poynt device, and you can run everything through that. We also have the option to run the talech app on the iPad and essentially use the Poynt device as a glorified card reader. This is probably a better fit for the Poynt 5, which Joy was talking about a little bit earlier, because it really does kind of look like a pin pad of sorts. Let me jump into our sales tool. So with our sales tool here, we have a partner portal that'll show you information about our software. It gives you videos to customer testimonials, feature breakdown videos. Also, just talech.com has business solution use cases where you can go in, click on the type of business. It'll show you like the 6 most common features that people ask for in that business, and then you can actually look at the individual screenshots of like the features that we have on there. It's pretty in depth. That's a great tool to use if you're doing any sales over the phone. You can view that with the customer, and you kind of walk them through that. The demo scheduler. So we can do demos in English or Spanish. You can go on there, pick a demo time. We encourage you, please, if you're gonna sell with us, you're gonna sell our service, please get your customers on for a demo. We want to make sure that the customer is a good fit. I used to be in sales of processing. I get it. You want to get that sale no matter what. But if a customer is not a good fit, it'll eventually get flushed out at some point, and that's the last thing any of us want. So please get them on so we can show them the software. And I encourage you all to attend as well, because it gives you more information about the software too. So yeah, we do a go-to meeting just like this, where we share a screen, show the rep, show the customer, and then of course you as the rep as well. A little bit about the software. We let them ask questions, show them how it works. It's pretty fun, pretty interactive. Customers always get what they're looking for out of that. So lastly, we have a lead submission form. So this is how you create the demo, right? So you put in a lead submission form. We do need this information, helps us keep organized on our back end. Lastly here, I do want to talk about our referral and reseller programs. Now, right now, we're not looking to take on any resellers. We do have minimums on reselling that most of the people that we work with right now they don't want to commit to those. And I understand, right? You always want to test out the waters first before you jump into anything like that. So the referral program, just to give you guys a glimpse at that, is basically you send us over the lead once they're ready to view the software. We will finish out the sale. You're more than welcome to sell them the Poynt device. We encourage it even. We can port the app on there afterwards. We don't need to sell those as hardware. With the referral program, we do offer a commission spiff based off the software. So if you have any interest in that, please shoot me an email after this and I can get you signed up for that. It's a relatively quick process. My email is blake@talech.com. I direct our partner sales here. I will say that if any of you are interested in the app itself and want to take a look at it before you pitch it, before you offer it to any customers, I am more than happy to create a demo account for you where that you can take that demo account and go in either on an iOS platform or even go in on your Poynt platform and play around with the app, look at the features. And of course, any questions that come out of this, I'm more than happy to answer those for you. If you do want that demo account, please shoot me an email after this. Once again, it's blake@talech.com. If you want it for the Poynt, make sure to also put the Poynt serial number that you have in Office, because that's the way we load it through Poynt right now. We'll be in the App Store very shortly on Poynt, just some billing discrepancies that we're figuring out. But from there, or for the moment, excuse me, we do have to have Poynt push our app out on the device. Yeah, and then the talech account, the demo account that we make for you will work on Poynt or iOS. But if you want it for Poynt specifically, just make sure to shoot me that serial number. That is about it. Joey, anything you'd like to add?
No, just, obviously that the talech has done a great job in helping our resellers, sell to more sophisticated, juicier, larger merchants. And that's been great. And to see, how good their sales support is. And again, their sales hub, that's actually available in our sales hub as well. So if you go to the Poynt sales hub, click on talech, they'll take you there. You can demo, again, you can schedule that demo with their team. Another thing to call out is that, again, if you can, obviously there's different minimums to become an actual reseller, but if the referral program, you will own 100% of the processing. talech does not do any processing of any sort, so they're agnostic, and they'll work with you on that and make sure that you can get that spiff as well, which is a great partnership. We have a lot of groups that are selling talech. The UI is really good looking as well, so it's fun to sell, it's fun to show. So definitely get a copy of the talech software on your terminal. Blake's showing it right now, as you can see, and this is going to be a little bit more of a wider version because it's iOS, but it's kind of a longer version on the Poynt terminal, but it looks really good. There's a lot of great features in there. I love it from the online ordering perspective with QSR restaurants and like the, basically split check and ordering and intelligent routing of the tickets to like a bar to a restaurant. A lot of great things there. And they have great loyalty with their customers, gift cards, everything included. So kind of a great all-in-one solution. Look for the merchants that maybe have more than 500 items, or the merchants that have more complexity in the restaurant, have full, table management, things like that. That's going to be where talech can come in and help you save that sale. Give me 1 second. I think I have a question for you. So you can order at the table, yeah. So they're asking about ordering at the table, Blake. And the way I've kind of described that is, you can have like ELO stations or iPads in the back. You even have the Poynt stations in the back. But basically, you can walk the Poynt terminal to the table, and you can just order from the Poynt terminal, correct?
Absolutely. Yep. And like I said, it does have cross-platform. So as soon as you make that order, you can send it to the kitchen, but that order can then be pulled up on an iPad as well once it's done.
And there is no cash discount on talech as of today, correct?
There is not, no. The closest thing that we would have is being able to apply service charges, which, as Joey will point out, is only legal in certain states.
And so, yeah, it's been a great journey with
fees.
It's been a great process, working with talech, and it's exciting to see how easy that would work with you. As you can see the menu layout right here. So definitely reach out, get this software on your terminal so you can walk around with it, or you can really show your prospects what it looks like. But overall, you're going to have a really good experience working with our team. But Blake, anything else you want to add? Any other kind of final tips or some other key features that help you sell?
Yeah, that's all for me. Like I said, guys, if you're at all interested in it, please once again shoot me an email for a demo account, and then if you are whenever you sign a customer over to us, please attend the demos too. It's great to learn a little bit about the features.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Blake. It was great, great speaking with you, and we will be speaking with you again soon.
Thanks,
All right.
Joey.
Give me one
Everybody,
second, guys.
thanks everyone. Have a great day.
And I want to get over to my screen here. Give me one moment, everyone. Please enter Doom. All right, make the enter. All right, everyone, give me one moment. We're gonna go over to the zero pay cash discount application. I know that a lot of you were waiting for that. I'm just trying to get back to the screen. And let me see, open with. And then Vlad, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, Vlad, give me one moment. We'll go over to your slides here. All right, Vlad, great. Thanks for having us. We're gonna have a lot of questions, so I'll feel free to kind of take it away, introduce yourself, your team, what you guys have built here, and then we can I'll be moving the slides along for you as well. Okay?
Sure, I appreciate it. We're have a product called ZeroPay, which is currently right now we rolled it out to the Poynt devices. It's a ZeroPay cash discount application. The uniqueness about the application is we worked with Poynt to build it as part of the Poynt component, so that it's an application that does not require any third-party software, but will automatically work with certain third-party software that integrate with us, and it will provide them with cash discount ability on their applications. The cool features about our applications, it's very, very easy to use. It utilizes the Poynt native OS, whether it's a terminal or it's a register, and it's really 3 or 4 easy steps that anybody can do it, and it obviously supports the percentage model and a transaction model, or it does support a combo model. The beauty of our application, it does show to the customer on the front panel of the Poynt display 2 prices in a very, very clear form, and it obviously does work on Poynt 5. As you can see on the screen.
Yep. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want to make sure you saw the screen there.
Yeah, as you can see on the screens, there is step 1, 2, and 3 of how you set up the Poynt app. So obviously, you download the app. It's available in the Poynt App Store. You download the app into the Poynt. After that, you open the app up, go through step number 2, which basically sets up whether a percentage or a transaction fee, and then get your transaction fee going, close the app, and you're ready to go. That's how easy it is. And if you can slide it, yeah. On the terminal, when you press the dollar amount button, the option will come up whether it's a credit transaction. Once you select credit, all other Poynt native options will come up, which is on picture 4. And one of them is going to be our cash discount option. You press that, and the merchant will automatically see this box, as well as on the front screen, the card holder will see that box as well in exact same form. And at that point, they'll be clearly understanding whether they are paying with cash or they're paying with a card, and obviously with cash, they're getting a cash discount. There's a support number there's a support number for the applications. We do have a team of people that will help the merchant get going or help you guys get going. Same way goes with the email address. We're also working with Boomtown to make sure that we're available on the Relay platform, which would probably going to become a reality at some point within the next few weeks. So
and Vlad, thank you for
you're going to be able to connect to us via Relay.
Yeah, so we can definitely add you in there as well as a chat room with our team, or you can use the support at zeropay.org, the phone number as well. I know that we've had some issues with previous cash discount applications. I don't see that, in our future with ZeroPay. A great team, very well established team, great communication. They've already gotten a lot of our resellers set up with the application, a lot of their merchants set up, and we haven't seen any issues, which has been great. And any questions that the groups had, they've been very responsive. So I'm really excited to have them in the channel as well. If you have questions, I do get a lot of questions on surcharge versus cash discount. Away from the webinar, if you have questions on that, reach out. I can explain that to you and help you understand that. Cash discount is legal in all the in all the U.S. states. There is obviously some legality to it, but that's what these applications are doing for you. They're following the receipt mechanisms. They're following kind of everything you need on the reporting aspect to provide a legal cash discount for your merchants customers. And feel free to reach out if you have questions right now. Feel free to chat them in as well. Again, this is going to be in the payment fragment as you see on the terminal, but it's going to be in the Register app as well. So again, once you just go to a charge, you can just toggle that down and you can press cash discount, and that will that's how this works. You don't have to download another application, or you don't have to use another application's terminal or register. It's built into the terminal and Register app on the Poynt terminal. So just kind of making that point again, because it is pretty damn cool in that you don't have to go teach another experience for your merchants. Anything else you want to add, Vlad, or anything that we can that kind of stuck out with you?
There's also one more piece about the pricing policy that we decided to elect. I believe we're probably going to be the easiest and the cost-effective price discount app in the Poynt store, simply because of the fact that we allow to make one price per location. There's two plans within the Poynt store, and at the time that you choose, you basically choose whether you want to do it as a individual device, or do you want to do that as a site. And if you do it as a site, it's one price. It's $14.95, and it's unlimited amount of points. So if you have 5 devices, 10 devices, 20 devices, it's one price per site. If you have a single device, it's $7.99 per device. And obviously, once you go into 2 devices, you are better off doing it per site, because you'll save a lot of money doing that, and there's no need to do an extra expense. We're not doing anything crazy, or we're not doing anything that full POS providers are doing. So we perfectly understand our space within the ecosystem, and we just wanted to make it an easy, convenient, and quick, so that the customer understands you guys as resellers that are selling Poynt can easily sell it within the Poynt OS, as opposed to trying to download another app and be within the other environment. So that's kind of the purpose of why we did it, and we hope that it's going to be very successful within a few coming months.
And one thing, I got a question if the merchant can change the rate. And so they can go into the application and change the rate. It should be a set and forget, and that's what's nice about having the application separate, is basically teach them how to go in there and change it. I got that question a lot with the previous cash discount applications, and it doesn't seem to be a problem with the resellers. Everyone understands it. It is about good education with your merchant, making sure that they're getting the most value out of cash discount. Saying, hey, we're going to set your rate at 4%. Don't change it, obviously, because you want to be saving money on your credit card processing. So that's one thing that they've done really well. And then, can you change the service charge to a different term of like fee, for example? They're saying, can you change the service charge to a different term of
yes,
choosing?
You have to remember that the terminal is only half the battle, right? So the other side of it is sets up on the processor end of it. So if, let's say, you have the merchant change it to 3%, that means that the merchant will automatically pay an additional percentage on the acquiring side, because the rates that the merchants are getting charged are also set in the system. So if the merchant amount of money got under collected, then it will hit the merchant's merchant statement. So obviously, the back end statement and the terminal have to be in sync in terms of the amount of percentages that they're to be charged. And I don't believe, and we have thousands of merchants at this point doing this, I don't believe that the merchants want to touch this without an advice from their rep. So it has not come up that has come up, but the flexibility issue has come up, where people want to be able to agree with their rep on the fly and be able to change their numbers ad hoc and make those changes on the back end as well. So the system does provide that flexibility, and you can do percentage, you can do transaction, you can do a combination of the percentage plus transaction. And I don't recommend the percentage plus transactions because it's going to confuse the merchant, but the option is available.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't seen much friction or frustration from the merchants with that type of mechanism. But then on the line item on the receipt, what does that look like for cash discount with this product?
It looks exactly like it's shown. So
okay.
The receipt shows exactly what the application does, because it's
gotcha.
Again,
okay.
Because it's part of the payment component. The Poynt receipt is not being changed. So just like any other app that works within the payment components, for example, if you take Factor 4 as a gift card system, or they would basically be able to show on the receipt that there's X amount of dollars being paid by the gift card in conjunction with the regular rate. And so here it's the exact same mythology, where whatever Poynt decides to display is what's going to show up on the receipt.
And will it work on PIN debit cards in conjunction with credit cards?
So currently it's a cash discount. It's not surcharge, for a very simple reason that Poynt does control the payment component inside that applications, and therefore we are working with Poynt to address the ability to recognize the bins between debit and credit, but that's up to the Poynt to decide whether they're going to be able to allow this feature for their third-party applications.
And then I had someone asking if the service charge is an editable field in the app. So you can obviously edit the percentage, but I don't think you can edit the text. And I've heard that before. Is there a reason that they'd want to edit that text?
Yes. So there's people and agents and ISO that come up with different scenarios of how they want to position this, whether they want to position the service charge or pay by cash and save. I've seen there's many different variations. At the end of the day, it's impossible to make it editable. Then it becomes a problematic scenario with the Poynt, as they control the store, and we would have to run every name through them, and it becomes just a very difficult process to manage. So we've agreed on this particular naming convention with them, and that's why it's there in the way it is.
Gotcha. Okay, great. That's awesome. All right, so that's basically it for questions right now. And I have some contact information for your group. Krista, who is supposed to be on, that's her information, but Vlad, his team can reach at support@zeropay.org. Any other questions, feel free to reach out. Obviously, Vlad, great to have you on the webinar and really excited about this app. We've already seen a lot of success with the merchants, so feel free to reach out to their team if you have any specific questions or comments. They'll help you get situated, and obviously help with any clarification on things like we were just talking about, the actual service charge and the name of that, whether it be on the actual receipt or in the software. But yeah, Vlad, thanks so much. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And then absolutely. And for the rest of you, feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions. Always happy to help. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you next month, and obviously go sell more Poynt. Thanks so much.